Good morning from Scotland, everyone. Right now we are currently in a northern Scottish town called Ullapool, and this is where our adventure begins. We're going to be taking a ferry, a boat, to the Isle of Harris and Lewis, and then we're going to be going to the Isle of Skye, two places that are known for their picturesque views, and even the water that I'm looking at right now. I don't know if you can tell through the camera, but it's this like turquoisey blue, and you would never expect this from Scotland because, you know, it's a bit gloomy, it's a bit, you know, rainy outside. But Scotland is one of the most beautiful countries in the world, one of the countries that is considered to be a fairy tale country, and I'm excited to be exploring it with you. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Drew. What it do? It's nice to meet you. Let's explore Scotland. Crazy. In order for you to understand how we got to this point in our Scotland journey, I sort of have to rewind a bit. We started off in Scotland in Edinburgh, but immediately hit the ground running. So one of the things I'm most excited about for Scotland is we're going to be doing a bunch of road tripping here. Basically going to the Highlands, Inverness, the different Isles. We just got here off of like 6 hours of sleep. But for whatever reason, I feel energized because I'm excited to be in a new place. Very, very excited. Passing over the Queen's Ferry crossing to get to St. Andrews. Scotland is a country rich in history. Early human history, medieval history, and modern history. And all of this history is shown off in various ways, from castle ruins to the fields of the historic Battle of Culloden to the Clavicairns and so much more. Our first night we stayed in Perth, kept traveling north to Corgorth Castle, stopped by Loch Ness to say hello to the Loch Ness Monster. Somewhere in these waters is the Loch Ness Monster. And then made it to Inverness, one of the two big ticket cities of the Highlands. We had traveled nearly 200 miles in 2 days, and along the way discovered one of the most delightful delicacies of all of Scotland, Cullen skink. Cullen skink is a hearty soup made up of smoked haddock, potatoes, onions, milk, water, butter, and salt and pepper. And while we had been lucky with the relatively dry weather, it was pretty cold in Scotland compared to where we had come from, which was back in New York City. And nothing was as warm and as inviting as a fresh bowl of Cullen skink. So what we were just watching is a Scottish sport called called shinty, and it's only really played here in Scotland. You don't really make a lot of money playing it, but what you do get to do is it's a kind of like an honorary sport here in Scotland that holds a lot of Highland pride in its ethos. It's really only played here in the Highlands, which is really unique. And then you also have a little bit of a cricket going on as well. After 2 nights in Inverness, we made our way to Ullapool to catch the ferry to the Isle of Lewis. If I'm not mistaken, this is the ferry that we're going to be taking right here. It's called the Loch Sealport, or I could be really wrong and that's not the ferry at all. Who knows? Where we boarded the car and sturdied ourselves for the 3-hour-long boat ride to the Isles. First stop, Isle of Lewis. The Isle of Lewis had been and is the most northern point I've been to on planet Earth. The northernmost tip of the Isle of Lewis, called the Butt of Lewis, sits at 58.5 degrees north, similar to places like Juneau, Alaska in the US or Magadan, Russia. I also think this was the first time I had ever been on a boat for such a long time, and I definitely felt a little bit of seasickness while I was downing my beef pie. Sometimes you can see whales on this ride, but we did not. In some ways, the Isle of Lewis felt more like a fictional Star Wars planet than planet Earth. And one of the most mystical places on the island were the Callanish standing stones.
It is kind of weird, guys.
Really cool, honestly. The mystique is shrouded in the fact that historians are still unclear what exactly these stones meant and what purpose their orientation comes from. Candidly, there isn't that much to do on these northern isles because they are so remote and so uninhabited, which in part is what makes them so special, how quiet they are. One of the main highlights I was excited to experience on the Isle of Harris was the Clomore exhibition and understanding more about Harris Tweed. Harris Tweed is a living, breathing national artifact of Scotland. Essentially, it is a hand-woven wool fabric that is made exclusively on the Scottish Isles. It's been worn by British royalty, runway models, and used by designers all across the world. But why? Its quality and uniqueness are incredibly rare in today's fast fashion world. I plan to make an additional video about the history and stories of Harris Tweed, so subscribe for that when it comes out. I'll be honest though, unfortunately I was a bit disappointed by the Clomore exhibition and the Harris Tweed shops on the Isle of Harris. But I don't think it takes too much away from the legacy of Harris Tweed. After our time learning about Harris Tweed, the trip started getting really picturesque. Arguably the most breathtaking landscape on all the isles was Luscantire Beach. It was hard to capture, but the color of the water and the mountains, the sheep, it was just special. The Isle of Skye is the island that gets the most media attention from outside of Scotland, and rightfully so. When we arrived, we attempted to hike Curing, a beautiful mountain in the north of Skye. I realized pretty quickly that there were some parts that required both of my hands for balance and just proper movement. I was kind of getting scared, so I ended up putting away my big camera, but check out these views that I captured on my phone. By the time we made it to Skye, our time in Scotland was nearly over. We had ventured through the Highlands, visited the Isles of Lewis, Harris, and Skye, and had begun making our way back to the city of Edinburgh. Edinburgh is a city of multiple identities. There are the incredibly, almost overwhelmingly touristy parts like the Royal Mile, and then the more neighborhoodly and true contemporary culture parts like Stockbridge. And then you have the castle and all of the history that exists there as well. I personally love history. History informs us about why the world is the way it is, but I'm also a big proponent of seeing a country or a city for what it is today. My favorite part about visiting Edinburgh was Stockbridge, aka the urban village of the city. This is where our shopping tour began and was the most interesting part of the city. The best shop in the entire city for me was Dick's. Dick's carries a lot of goodies from Japanese label Orslo to French shoemaker Paraboot. But what took the shop to another level is their Jamie Sons collection of Shetland wool sweaters and vests. The quality of fabric, the intricacy of the pattern paired with the incredibly nice staff here is a win-win-win even if you just visit without buying.
Come to Edinburgh, they said.
Edinburgh.
It'd be fun, they said. They were right. They were right.
Right next door is Toast. You don't need to be in Edinburgh to shop at Toast, but since it's so close, it's worth checking out their reworn rack of vintage and secondhand pieces. Now, if you want something more Scottish, then you'll enjoy Keston. Based in Edinburgh, Keston prides itself on its UK roots and Scottish design language. I came across several fun tops and jackets.
Edinburgh is one of my favorite cities. cities. Oh my God.
Edinburgh's his
Edinburgh.
favorite city, everybody.
If you're a vintage lover like me, then Skinny Pig, while a small space, had a decent selection of very interesting pieces, especially women's wear. Lauren definitely got a kick out of this shop. And last, we visited a shop called Tweed. Similar to Toast, it offers kind of a Scandinavian, Northern European apparel vibe. There's a couple secrets that you should know about. If you head downstairs, you can find Kings of Indigo denim and nudie jeans, both nicer denim options.
Today is our last day in Edinburgh.
Edinburgh.
So we decided that it would be probably best spent by doing a little bit more culture, shopping, like being in the areas that are trendy or a little bit more shoppable, walkable than the tourist sites. And so far we've been walking through Stockbridge, and it's a totally different feeling from the Royal Mile or the kind of more touristy things. We might still do Edinburgh's castle. We'll see, but as of right now, walking around Stockbridge has been really cool. A lot of different shops here I've been showing you guys. We used to see a rag and bone in front of us. I don't know, just like look at this street here as well. Like this is Edinburgh. This is the UK.
I know I probably triggered a few of you with my pronunciation of Edinburgh when I was vlogging, but there are a few ways to actually say it.
Edinburgh. Edinburgh. Edinburgh.
And now they're coming out. So when you go to Edinburgh, you got 3 days in Edinburgh.
It is pronounced as Edinburgh.
Edinburgh is what you may have heard me say, but I was trying to say Edinburgh, like Edinburgh.
Edinburgh.
Sped up, that's just Edinburgh. I hope I don't get you too upset about that. It's never my goal to mispronounce something, but when
Edinburgh.
you're learning new places, new cities, it takes a little bit of time to understand the pronunciation. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you have any additional questions about Scotland, let me know down in the comments. As always, I'm spreading peace, love, and positivity in 2026. So that means I hope peace, love, and positivity will be in your mix. Wherever you are in the world, have a wonderful rest of your day. A bientôt. Peace.
Edinburgh.